Bonjour à tous! Today we're looking at some frequency adverbs in French. Not a big bunch, just 8 of them. And frequency means how often something happens or how often you do something. So let's have a quick overview first. I'll just say what they sound like in French as they come up, and then we'll look at breaking down their pronunciation and we'll look at their translations as well. Quelquefois, tous les soirs, tous les jours, tout le temps, de temps en temps, souvent, une fois par semaine, 2 fois par semaine. Okay, so these are the 8 phrases that hopefully you will know how to say and you will know how to translate by the end of this video. So we have quelquefois to start with. Quelquefois, sometimes. Quelquefois. If we break it down into syllables, I'm going to be using mimes and gestures that I used in the video on the phonetic alphabet, or the alphabet sorted out by phonemes. If you're in my lessons in year 7, these are the gestures I use in class. So we start with quel, quel. Then we have que. So it's the E sound, but it's a relaxed one. Que. Fois. So we end with the mouth wide open. Fois. Okay? If we put these together, we have quelquefois. 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 Sometimes. Quelquefois. Ensuite, on a tous les soirs. Tous les soirs, every evening. Tous les soirs. Literally, it's all the evening, so every evening. Tous les soirs. So we break it down. We have tout, quite a close tout. Les, like B, C, D, les. Soir. So we end with the mouth open, and then we have a R sound. If you're not sure about the R sound, you can check out my videos on the R sound in French. There is an erratum video, that's probably the one you want to watch, because the other two had some mistakes in them. So then we put it all together, and it gives us tous les soirs. Tous les soirs. Tous les soirs. Tous les soirs. Every evening. Ensuite, on a tous les jours. So this time we go from tous, tous les, tous jours. Okay? And we still finish with a R sound, which could be voiceless, so R, or voiced R. So tous, like earlier, tous les jours. I forgot to click. Jours. Tous les 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 jours. So the middle is a little bit skipped over. Ensuite, on a tout le temps. So we write 3 syllables, tout le temps, but we only say 2 of them. So the le in the middle is not going to be heard much. Okay? Tout le temps, all the time. All the time. Tout le temps. So if we break it down, I'm breaking it down into 2 syllables to make it easier for you to say the whole thing. So we have toul, and then temps, nasal, en sound, temps. We don't pronounce the final consonants, P and S, because there's nothing afterwards. So the final consonants stay silent. Tout le temps. So again, tout le temps, tout le temps, tout le temps. Then we move on to de temps en temps, which is one of our longer ones today. De temps en temps, from time to time. De temps en temps, from time to time. So if we break it down, we have de, which is back to this E sound from quelquefois, de. Temps, nasal, temps. Then we have en again. And then we have temps again. The trick here is in the middle, we have a liaison between the final S of temps and the en sound from the prepositions. En is a preposition, so it goes temps en temps. You have a z sound, and that's to link the noun temps with the next preposition. So if we put it together, we now have de temps en temps. De temps en temps. And we insist on temps and temps. De temps en temps. De temps en temps. Ensuite, on a souvent, beaucoup plus court, much shorter adverb this time. Souvent, often, souvent. So we start with sous, and then vent. I've put the hyphen there so that you remember it's the second syllable of a full word. It's not a word on its own. Vent. And again, the final T is not pronounced. And the N is there to make a nasal en sound. Vent. Which gives us souvent. Souvent. Almost done now. So we have une fois par semaine, once a week. Literally, it's one time per week. Once a week, one time per week. Une fois par semaine. One, fois, time, par, per, and semaine, week. So if we break it down, we have une, with that very close mouth U sound, which we did in the alphabet, une. Then we have fois, which is the same as what we had in the beginning with sometimes, quelquefois, fois. Par, again we have this soft, sort of half said R sound at the end, par, so open mouth, par, and then r, par. Se, we are back to this soft E sound, se. Men, this one, like quel, men. So that gives us une fois par semaine. Une fois par semaine. And then we have twice a week, deux fois par semaine. So we just changed the beginning. Instead of one time per week, we have 2 times per week. Okay, so deux. This one there, deux, like number 2, deux. And then we have again fois par semaine, which gives us deux fois par semaine. Okay? So then one way to practice pronunciation, which we've tried in class and works quite well, I've done it for 2 or 3 years now, is to A, organize your list so that it has some sort of logical progression through it, and B, loop it. So the first word that I've decided to use is quelquefois. So we have quelquefois. And we notice how in French we put the emphasis on the end of the word. So quelquefois. And once we've looped quelquefois quite a few times, we can then add the next one. So the next one is tous les soirs. I've chosen this one because we still have a wa sound on the last syllable. So it kind of rhymes. It's not a proper pure rhyme, but it's almost there. So we have tous les soirs, which we then loop with quelquefois, and it gives us quelquefois, tous les soirs. Then we move on to tous les jours, and that's because we have an anaphora this time, where tous les soirs and tous les jours start the same way. So we went from a normal rhyme to an anaphora. Quelquefois, tous les soirs, tous les jours. Okay? Tous les jours. So again, you could loop tous les jours, and then you could go back to the top and loop that. Quelquefois, tous les soirs, tous les jours. Quelquefois, tous les soirs, tous les jours. The next one is tout le temps, because it's almost an anaphora. We still start with tout, but then it's not tout les, it's tout le, tout. So we go tout le temps, tout le temps, tout le temps, tout le temps. Okay? And so then we can loop the first 4 together and go quelquefois, tous les soirs, tous les jours, tout le temps. Quelquefois, tous les soirs, tous les jours, tout le temps. From tout le temps, we go on to another rhyme, and we have de temps en temps, de temps en temps, de temps en temps. So now that gives us quelquefois, tous les soirs, tous les jours, tout le temps, de temps en temps. From de temps en temps, we are going to move on to another rhyme in en, which is souvent, often, souvent, souvent, okay? So we go quelquefois, tous les soirs, tous les jours, tout le temps, de temps en temps, souvent. After that, we have the 2 special ones, let's call them special. So we have une fois par semaine, une fois par semaine. I'm doing that because it's fois, the multiply sign, because it means times. So une fois par semaine, and then we have deux fois par semaine, deux fois par semaine. And then we can loop it, and it gives us quelquefois, tous les soirs, tous les jours, tout le temps, de temps en temps, souvent, une fois par semaine, 2 fois par semaine. And then if we want, we can also try to include the translations into English. So I'm not necessarily very musical, and this is just going to be an attempt and see how it goes. I don't know if it's going to be any good. 1, 2, 3. Quelquefois, sometimes. Tous les soirs, every evening. Tous les jours, every day. Tout le temps, all the time. De temps en temps, from time to time. Souvent, often. Une fois par semaine, once a week. 2 fois par semaine, twice a week. So this is probably not the best it can be, but this is what we've got so far. You can go on and make up your own little thing. You can loop all the French up so that you focus on your French pronunciation. You can add the translations from memory. You could make a note to yourself so that you have all of the translations written down and you can make up your own chant. Some of you probably can rap, so you could rap it. I'm not going to attempt that on YouTube. I don't even attempt it in the classroom, so no way am I doing that online. You can do anything you like as long as it helps you gain confidence in pronouncing these in French. And yeah, you can then test each other as well. You can see if you can work with a friend or with a family member, and you could just test each other. So you could call out the French and they have to call out the English and vice versa. And that is it for our frequency adverbs. So I hope this helped. Let me know if there's any other little list of vocab like this that you'd be interested in. And if there's any constructive criticism, do put it down in the comments below so I can see it. Give it a like if you like this video, share if you know people this could help, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and there's content that you think I could produce that would help you. And that's it. Take good care of you, and I will see you in another video. Au revoir! And I'm doing it this way, but I shouldn't do it this way because you're going to be facing the other way. So I might just flip that in editing. That will be a new skill I haven't learned yet. Nice!